beautiful day in the neighbourhood. Mr. Rogers here. Lovely to see you all, naughties. Today we're off to Holland, the Netherlands, because we're in the ends, and we're going to make a thing called a tompo. Or a tompoes, I think, if you're in Belgium. It kind of reminds me, funnily enough, of a millefleur which we made for Monaco. It's a custard wedge between puff pastry, and apparently in Holland is served at celebratory events. The most significant one apparently being when you take your partner to visit your future in-laws. Your in-laws will serve you a tompo, and part of the gag is that a tompo is very, very difficult to eat. As you might imagine, 2 pieces of puff pastry with custard in the middle, you can imagine things squirting all over the joint. In America, the closest thing would be Napoleon. And that is what we're up to today. So the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to get the top and the bottom organised, which is puffy, and I'm going to get that cooking whilst I make the custard. So, sheet of defrosted puff. I'm going to cut it in quarters. So there you go, that's half. That is quarters. And what's going to happen next, so that it doesn't do any sticking or anything naughty like that, I am going to get my little spray bottle and spray underneath. There we go, that'll do. Then I'm going to make it nice and golden brown, and the quickest way to do that is to whisk up an egg. Here we go. The oven is on at 400 degrees, and I will put this in just for about 20 minutes so that it's nice and golden and puffed up. This will make it extra golden because that's part of the look. Now, what makes a tompo distinct from its Belgian cousin, which I think is called a tompoes, is that it is covered in pink or red icing. Why, I'm not totally sure. Apparently in Holland or Netherlands on King's Day, they make their tompo with a orange icing. That's in very specific, just that specific day in celebration of orangeness. But that is what makes it distinct from other surrounding pastries that are similar in that region. Did that make any sense? I don't know. Anyway, here we go. They're ready to go, and I'll slap them in there for 20 minutes. So here you go, and timer on. But no messing around, we can keep going whilst that's cooking. And what we're going to do now is we're going to make the custard. For the custard, we will need 1 cup of milk. There it goes. And we will also need a bit of vanilla. Now, strictly speaking, I know I say this every time, it should be a vanilla bean. I'm putting in a little bit of vanilla essence, and that is because I'm cheap. That's how it goes. I'm cheapy. I'm going to heat that up and gently, that goes in there, and into that I am going to put 4 tablespoons of sugar. There we go. And I'm going to stir that around, nicey. And I am also going to put in a pinch of salt. There we go. That was a fairly decent pinch of salt. And then I'm also going to put in a tablespoon of flour. Okay, that goes there. So the custard, in some recipes I saw of Tompoes, you put gelatin into the custard to make it super firm. I'm not going to use gelatin for this, but you are making a custard that is really going to set quite firm. Mine obviously won't be quite as firm. Okay, so I'm now going to just put a little bit as this is warming up. Let me test that. Oh, there, it's nice and warm. I'm going to put a couple of tablespoons of, a bit more, into the eggy mixture to help thin it down a little bit. And I think next what I'm going to do is I'm going to get me whiskey, and as this is still warm, I'm going to whisk this into the warm milk until it thickens up. Okay, so now if you look at that, that's got nice and thick. Just so you know, I did add 3 more tablespoons of flour to the custard to help it thicken, obviously, and now that it really is nice and thick. Next thing to do here before it cools down, and to avoid the skin on the custard, we've done this before, but I'm just going to saran wrap it. So I'm going to take that off the heat. Woo! Take that off the heat there, and I will put a bit of saran wrap on it and then chill it. Whilst we've still got a few minutes on the for the puff, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make the pink icing. Not desperately tricky. All you're going to need is 3 tablespoons of icing sugar, a couple of drops of food colouring, and then a little dribble, maybe 2 teaspoons of milk. It's the final countdown. Do-do-do, do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do. Boom! Okay, let's see how they are. Never open the oven until it's completely... Yeah, okay, I've said that before, sorry. Oh, look at those little golden pillows. Aren't they beautiful? Made all the more beautiful by... Look at those. I mean, you'd think you were on some telly program or something. Now, what we're going to do is we are going to cut these in half. So very gently, and I'm doing this overly keenly. You can, of course, let this cool a tiny bit, but what you're going to do is you're going to do that. And you're going to put one there. Oh, look how gorgeous. One like that, one like that. Don't forget to share us, love us, thumbs up us, down us, subscribe to our YouTube, go to our webpage, and all those kind of things. We're trying to spread the word, you see. We want to go, I don't want to go viral, but we want to get the word out there. So we need your help, kids. Give us what you can. Okay, so we're going to let those cool for a little bit. So the stage is set. The puffs are puffy. We're now going to get the custard and fill up these Tompoes and finish this off. So give me one ticky. I'm going to go get the custard from El Frigerato here, as we call it in New Mexico. That's not jam, just being silly. We don't call it that. Take off our cling film and you will see that the custard doesn't have a skin, which is handy. Now we need some kind of sassy implement. Do you think that'll work? I'll give it a go. So it's easy. It's like making a sandwich. We're just going to spread it in. Oh my lord! what have we got ourselves into here? This is going to be drop dead gorgeous. We will put our little golden crowns on top of our Tompoes like that. And last but not least, ooh, I've got a little skid there. Okay, last but not least, and this is how we make it distinctly Dutch, we're going to put our red icing sugar over the top. I'm sure there's a better implement than a spoon to do this, but it will work. Okay, transpose these. Hopefully they'll all fit. I think they will. There's one, there's two, there's three, and there is 4 Tompoes. So here she is. This is our guest taster, my girlfriend, Melissa Jojo, and she is going to be responsible for tasting the evocative Tompoe.
It's a big job, but somebody has to do it.
There you go, my love, and here is a spoon for you.
Oh, I don't want that.
Are you just going to pick it up?
Yeah.
Now, just a reminder that this is what's served at when you take your boyfriend, girlfriend to meet the in-laws for the first time. Do you remember that? Now, I've already met Melissa's
inside,
parents.
though?
I'm not telling you.
The first time Tim met my mom, he said, "Your daughter has really nice clothes. Can I see her bedroom?"
I just thought, you know, we've got cut.
Can you just tell me what's in here?
There is
Like,
deliciousness, custard.
Oh, okay. Okay, here it goes. Mmm.
Talk us through it.
Well,
Are you getting the Tompoe?
did you make this puff pastry?
Yeah. Well, not from scratch, but...
It's super nice. I need coffee.
Okay, you need coffee.
It's very creamy and very crispy and very light and very sweet on the top. The custard's not too sweet.
So what, sort of a bit like me then, really?
Sure.
Sweet on the top. Here we go. I'll have a little try.
Ooh, we shouldn't have shared. That's not a good example on TV right now. Sharing food.
Okay.
Okay. Wait, Bubbles.
As you can see, not easy to eat tidily. Excuse me. But excellent. Really, really divine. Very simple. And God bless you, the Netherlands. That's a cracker. So, it's goodbye from Tompoe Tim here in Albuquerque. Lovely to see you. Don't forget, we need your help, team Just Desserts. Like our videos, share them, get the word out. And until next time, it's adios. Toodaloo, naughties.